I said, this is the first ever Lally for housing work, and we couldn't have a worthy winner. A judge who wrote in support of our winner's nomination said they really ought to be named not just Housing Lawyer of the Year, but Housing Lawyer of the Decade.
John Gallagher.
Many congratulations, John. Housing law has changed an awful lot, hasn't it, over the last few years and decades even. How has that affected your work?
It certainly has. When I started, which was a long time ago, people had security of tenure all across the board. Private rented people, public sector, everyone. Now the law has narrowed so much that it's much more difficult, and legal aid has narrowed so much indeed. So, I mean, my respect goes to the young legal aid lawyers who have to cope with the difficulties of legal aid as they are now, whereas when I started, it was so much easier, and I've just stayed around.
You've done a very good job in the process. But to what extent would you say that there is a crisis in this area? How worried are you about it?
Very worried indeed, particularly with regard to homelessness, because the homelessness legislation has always been there as a kind of safety net, but it's narrowed over the years to the extent where now many local authorities turn people away for the slightest excuse. And the remedy we have is judicial review, and that is also under threat under the present proposal. So it is a worrying time, and we can really hope it gets better.
Well, you're doing very important work in difficult circumstances. John Gallagher, congratulations on this.